Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Artificial Intelligence for Insurance Agents YouTube channel. Today I am walking you through something I've been doing lately when it comes to AI. One of the things I look at whenever I'm posting videos in here or posting videos over on our Artificial Intelligence for Insurance Agencies YouTube channel, which this video will be there as well, is okay, how am I actually applying this in my day-to-day work? Look, here's the problem with AI. If you watch any AI videos like I have, you see all these fancy benchmarks. But how do these benchmarks actually apply to what I'm doing every day? That's what I want to know. I don't want to know that it runs some fancy system that can do this, can do that, but how can it actually apply me with my everyday work? And one thing that I've discovered that can really help me with my everyday work are these AI extensions. Particularly what I'm talking about here are like Claude, Gemini. Now today I'm probably going to walk you through Claude a little bit. I may walk you through Gemini a little bit and really using these extensions. And look, I just want to do this. This is a company that I am using for pool service. So here's the cool thing. I may look at helping them with their marketing. So right here on the side, so I'm actually having it analyze a website right here. And look, I've also got a skill built, an SEO and AEO skill built that is over on my Trusted Agent YouTube channel. If you want to check it out, then I can actually show you that as well. But I just want to show you kind of how you could use something like a Claude extension here. And as I said, I've already done a video in here on the new Gemini update and how we're using it. But as you watch my screen, you kind of see where Claude's going in and it's analyzing all these things for me. And it's actually looking at my website. And it's going to give me kind of a full report here in just a second as it goes through and analyzes all this and shows me what I should improve the quickest. This is just one example of how you could use Claude every day in your work. Look, you could use it to look at a document. Okay, how do I improve this insurance proposal? How do I improve this HVAC insurance proposal or a self-assessment tool, whatever it is? I use this inside of our market agency. I use this inside of our insurance company. I use this inside of our flood consulting company. Whatever it is. So you see all the things that it's giving me here, and it's even asking me additional questions. And these are things I even did video, like right here. Add your phone number into the navigation bar. Yeah, you want to definitely click the call. You replace the Gmail address with a branded one. Look, I absolutely always recommend using a branded email address. It just builds trust. We need some testimonials on this page. Hi. I am assuming that someone doesn't know how to do this at all. So I'm really treating Claude like a simple-minded person that doesn't know how to do any of this, to kind of give me a guide. And look, right here. Now here's a cool thing. I have a marketing company as well that does some SEO work. I can potentially put this together, send this to a customer, and show them how to implement all these things. Are they going to implement them? Probably not. But what it is going to do is probably show them value of how I could help them and all these different things. And this is just one example. Let's look at, here, let's do this. Now this is something it's really cool is how I'm using it. Let's go to a single address. All right, let's see. Now you'll see some of the different things it's doing here is it's pulling into this data. And look, this is some different data we use on the insurance side through a company called Hazard Hub that pulls in different addresses and things that we want to look at. And what I'm using is this is a lot of different data that Hazard Hub gives us. We pull into our flood insurance side. We don't use the majority of the data they give us, but what Claude extension could do is kind of clean this data up and put it into a really good report. And I've actually done this. I've actually used this to build some flood reports. I may take this data, then I may take it and throw it over in the Manus, manus.ai is now owned by Meta. They do a good job. Gamma, you've heard me talk about GAMMA. I may take it, put it in the Gamma, and kind of build a clean report. Now, here's the cool thing. Once I go and do this in extension, as I'm looking at step-by-step instructions here, I could then go and build a Claude skill that goes and does this for me through Claude Code or something like that. So that's the purpose of kind of going through and understanding how can I use Claude extension or other extensions inside my day-to-day work. Now, do I want to get in there? Am I going to give it passwords and logins and all this stuff? No, I'm not. I'm already logged into the website when I'm getting this information. It's pulling this. Now, look, you may get timed out here because it does give you limits. And I have pushed the limits on this Claude extension where I had to come back in the afternoon if I had it logging in and doing some work. I've had it help me build some pipelines in my HubSpot account. I've had it log in some different things. But the purpose is I want you to see how you can use Claude extension in your day-to-day work. Here's what you want me to do a favor. I want you to go and get this and install it. Now let me show you. How do you install it? Well, let's go and find out. Right here. All right. I am actually going to send this over to a friend of mine that was asking me for it. All right, now let's go back over to this page that we were working on right here. And you see how I come right back to it? And it's still working over here, probably doing some work. Look, this is a lot of different data on this particular property. It may be over 1,000 different pieces of data that we have here that it's pulling. And as soon as it gets done pulling, it's going to show me, kind of exactly what I need here. Now here's a challenge here, and I haven't figured this out yet. We can add take a screenshot, we can add an image, but we cannot seem to. So here's how you can teach. Let's go to Teach Claude. But it cannot seem to upload a PDF to it. Now, regular Claude you can, but the Claude extension doesn't seem to take that. Now, it can take different screenshots and all those things. So yeah, I could take screenshots of all this. But you can see why you could be working on this and then going over and doing something else. And as soon as we get this data here, Here I could clear the chat. I could go to settings here. Let's go to settings and see the microphone, you approve site. So you have different sites on here that I approve it to go to. You could restrict it from going to certain websites. So I can revoke all these different websites and all these things. So this is how you, this is where you could do all that. And look, you can have more than one Claude browser open. Do you see all mine at the top here? All these different things I'm working on that you absolutely can have Claude browser working on, giving it access to everything or giving access to limited things. I don't give it access to personal data. I don't give it access to customer data. There's some things I really limited it on. But one of the things I love is that, and as soon as this gets done, it could go in, potentially go to my YouTube channel, help pull YouTube videos up to match an article I'm working on. That's also where I could use something like the Gemini extension. I want to see if this thing's going to give us what we need or if it's going to time out. It could potentially time out where I'll run out of tokens. Now, here's what you'll notice here. I'm using Sonnet to do this. The reason I'm using Sonnet to do this is more of a 30,000 foot view. Could I use Opus to do this? Yes. But if I use Opus to do it, it is going to use more tokens. I don't need as many tokens. I don't need to go as deep here as I'm pulling this data. I can do that 30,000 foot view. And what that does is it allows me to stretch the browser further when it comes to token use. So this is how you can get more everyday use. Now, a lot of people ask me, what plan am I using on Claude? Now, I do the $200 per month plan. Now, you could do the $20 a month per month. It's not going to be go very far, honestly. And so that's why I would probably pay the $200. But look, I've got the full Manus subscription. I got the full Claude subscription. I got the full Gemini subscription, full ChatGPT right now. So I pay about $800 to $1,000 for some different AI tools here that we use every day. Now, as you say, this thing's taking a while. But what I want to show you too is that, okay, let's go over to this one that I've been working on. This is just some different things I have to do on the AEO side. And this is HubSpot AEO tool. As you can see right here, it's telling me what my high priority things are. I've already hit some of these articles. Let's see. So it's telling me some different like YouTube videos I could work on, where I could get featured and all these different things that could pull in AEO. So these are some really cool ways that you could use it. Now it's building this risk report, but you could use all of this like a absolutely use it just like you do every day. And then that's how you would minimize it, and then you expand it again like this. I've already got these here that are scheduled to go out this week. It's telling me some certain videos I need to work on. So let's do this. Here's the prompt in YouTube that's telling me to work on this video. Yeah, I don't really like some of that. As I said, here we're back over here to. All right, so right here, this is Claude. Let's see. Looks like Claude has finished. So right here, you see this full report. It's pretty cool that Hazard Hub gives me. I could save this as a PDF and all these different things, but I want you to see kind of how I'm using Hazard, how I'm using Claude extension throughout my day. I'm still waiting on it to build this report, but the cool thing is that Hazard Hub does build that. And you could kind of see how the AEO worked here too. Let's go back and look. You see it's going through and helping me build some scripts. And I may get around to shooting these scripts later on this week. But you could almost see yourself managing a bunch of different Claude extensions as it's going through and doing these different things. It's, to my knowledge, it's not using the same amount of tokens on one browser as it does another. For example, I could clear this chat, copy and paste, start over, and it starts going through it again. So that's kind of one way around that. But you can see this is kind of taking a while to build this. So the question is this: do I want to have Claude extension build this, or do I want to have a VA build this? Now it's notifying me every time something's ready or that it needs me to do something. But this lets you understand, okay, what is the cost of using this in my business? For example, should I be doing this? Should a virtual assistant be doing this? Should a licensed person be doing this? Should an operations manager? This helps you understand what exactly you should be doing, the AI should be doing, having automation do. So that's what I wanted to show you here. So here's my risk report that's given me all the data for it. Let's see if we can actually do this with Claude Design. I haven't tried this yet. It's the first time I've ever tried it. We'll see if it works. And you'll see on my screen it's creating a new tab and it's starting to do that. We'll see if it actually works or not. But when it's doing that, let's go back over here to the scripts. Now, let's do this. Let's copy this. Let's go into a new screen. Google Chrome. Let's just do this. I want to see if Gemini pulls up the right way for me. It may not. It is not. But you see right here how in this full thing right here, it's building this for me. And it's opened all these tabs to do it. It's even telling me the sweet spot. And look, this is the sweet spot. AI is recommending and citing more, seems like more long form videos right now. Let's see if it can work on these titles. Then what I'm going to do as the human, I'm going to review the titles. I'm going to review the scripts, the topics, all these things to make sure, hey, does this match with my audience? How do I blend this in the right way where I'm not talking from a teleprompter, but it's really a true. Now, this right here is probably going to be a screen share where I go through and look at different options. Even tells me the tags, all these different things, descriptions, all that stuff. Now, am I going to copy and paste this? No, I'm going to go and check it. But like, for example, it tells me chapters. Hey, something I need to have in there. Transcription, I need to have something in there. For example, like something like identify people total cost over 10 years. That's kind of hard to predict. But what I can show people, okay, here's what's happened over the next 3 years, 5 years. Here's what it could look like over a 10-year period. Now, when it's doing this, let's go back over here to Claude and see what Claude has built for us. All right. So here's the report that Claude has built. And I could do this. Look, I could do two things here. I could download it as HTML. I could publish it as an artifact. I could save it as a PDF. Now let me go this right here and need. So that's exactly what it would look like when you do it. So this is just some different ways that you could be using the Claude extension, Gemini extension, whatever, in your everyday work. How do we actually apply this to what we're doing every day? And that's what I want to show you in this video. And look, if you got value out of this video, do me a favor, hit share, subscribe, like below, and make sure to continue to tune in to these channels as I teach you how to use AI the real way in your business.